Hello you all, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Sheba and I'm on here to share with you all another spread that I did in my Canson journal using all Tim Holtz related products. Before I get started, I hope that you're all having a great weekend. Happy Sunday to you all and happy Labor Day to you all. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and share with you all what I use, and then I'll share with you all what I created in my journal. So I did use some Distress Oxide spray in Vintage Photo. I also used some Distress Mica Stain and Jack-o'-lantern. I did also use some texture paste and opaque. And then I used on top of that, because I had changed my mind, I used on top of that the Distress Texture Paste Twinkle, which is a new Distress medium from Tim Holtz. And then I used various different Distress Oxides. So I used Black Soot, Gathered Twigs, Vintage Photo Distress Ink, Carved Pumpkin, Peeled Paint, Pine Needles, Crackling Campfire, and Mustard Seed. So those are all the inks that I use. And then I use from the backdrop, this is volume 3. So I used some paper out of there. And then I also use this stencil, which is THS032. So I use a stencil, which is really pretty. And then I've had this in my stash for a long time, you guys. I think I probably got it from Hobby Lobby, possibly. But it's called Mixed Media number 2. So it's the same. I use this pattern right here, this die. And this die, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before, but just in case you have not, I'll share it with you. I can get it off the package here. Oops. So the one that I use, oh my goodness, it's in there. It is really in there. Okay. So I use this right here, this die. And so it cuts out the center, like in the paper. It doesn't cut like the paper apart or anything like that. That makes sense. So like I said, it's the same as this particular stencil. And I've had that in my stash forever. So first time using it and really like it. So that's called Mixed Media number 2. And then I did use this die again right here, which is Vault Lovebirds. So I believe I use this one right here. And then I also use this one, which is the Alphanumeric Tiny Type Uppercase. So I use that. And then I use this right here, which is called Foliage Wreath. So I have shared other projects in my journal where I just use the foliage from the wreath, but I finally decided to go ahead and do the wreath itself. So those are all the items that I use for my spread, you guys. So let me go ahead and move some of the stuff to the side so I can share with you all my spread. And I really love the way this one turned out. I like all of them that I've done, but this one right here I think is one of my favorites. And I'm going to explain to you what I did. So here is my journal spread. And like I said, I love the way it turned out. So let me just show you closely so you can kind of see. There you go. So I did spray the background just kind of around the edges with the Jack-o'-lantern mica stain. So I sprayed the background and then I cut out some watercolor paper to the size to fit the journal page that I wanted. And I ran it through the die. Put the die on there and cut the die out. The Mixed Media number 2. I cut that out. So I cut out in this corner and in this corner. And then I took the stencil and I went on top in this corner with the texture paste opaque. I went in this corner and this corner. And once that dried, and it probably wasn't completely dry, but once it dried a little bit, then I went on top of that with the texture paste twinkle. Because I wanted some twinkle in there. And you probably can't see it in the camera, but it's on there. Yeah, it's on there. Really pretty in person. And then once I did that, well, actually, before I put the twinkle on there, I had already sprayed this part that I cut out with the Distress Vintage Photo Oxide Spray. So that's what you see here. I sprayed it first on top of the white texture paste that was already on there. And then once that dried a little bit, then I went on with the twinkle texture paste on top of that. Yeah, so that's what I did. And I just kind of, when I sprayed the Distress Oxide in the vintage photo, I sprayed it kind of holding the bottle up kind of high, because I didn't want it to be like a dark vintage photo. I kind of want to be like kind of light and splotty a little bit, if that makes sense. So that's what I did. And then I just went around it with Distress Black Soot Oxide. So I went around that, and then also around the page itself with Distress Black Soot ink. And then this right here, I just picked this up from Hobby Lobby. I went into Hobby Lobby Friday, just kind of see what they had on sale. And so I found this pack right here. It was normally $7.49, reduced to $3.99. And it's called Photo Studio. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that before too. So you get the cards and you get the different size of the photo frames. So I just picked one of the photo frames out that I wanted. And then here's that in the background is from the Backdrop volume number 3. The paper in the background. And then I just built up my wreath. And I actually did this while I was watching Tim Holtz live yesterday on his Halloween 2025 release, Ideology. So that's what I was doing while I was watching the live. So, yeah, so I put the frame down, glued the sheet to the back, and then I glued that down. And then I did my wreath, so I cut out the wreath part twice just to give it a little more dimension. And then I just picked my color. I kind of copied what was on the actual wreath a little bit. Yeah, just kind of copy the colors here just a little bit. And build my wreath up. And then I just tucked the bird. I cut the bird out and I cut that little bottom piece off that was on the bottom of the bird feet. I just cut that off and I just kind of tucked it behind the wreath and then glued the tail on top of the wreath. And then here's that uppercase alphanumeric die where I spelled out Happy Fall at the bottom. And then the last thing, and then I did distress the edges with some black soot as well. You probably can't see it here, but I did. And then I distressed the leaves with the gathered twig just to give the leaves some more dimension and texture, whatever, if you want to call. And then I took the sellotape and I put a piece here and I put a piece right here. And that is the spread, you guys. Like I said, I love the way it turned out. It's really pretty in person with all the little swirly designs and the texture twinkle. I mean, the twinkle, yeah, texture paste twinkle on top of it. It's really, really pretty in person. So, yeah. So, I just did, like I said, some more black soot distressing on top of here as well. And that's my spread. So, yeah. So, I hope that y'all enjoyed today's share of what I come on here to share with you all, my project share. Mixed media. I've been really having a lot of fun with mixed media, and it just kind of not really comes easy, but it's just a lot of fun to play with the different mediums and just kind of seeing what you can come up with. So, you know, I know a lot of people are not into it because I was not always into mixed media myself when I first started crafting, but I have really, you know, came to really enjoy playing with the different mediums and just seeing what I can create. So, yeah, so I hope that you all enjoyed. I do want to thank you all so much for watching. You all have yourself a great rest of your weekend. Happy Labor Day to you all, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.